Hi, my name is Justin Griffith, and this is my screen capture and video of my project for software engineering. So, what we're looking at right now is I have an actual repo at GitHub of my project source code. I called it DocuGen. I use Git as my source control, and if we scroll down, I do have a README file. At first glance, we see the title of my project. I do have two other separate services that I'm running against every single commit to the project. One service is a service called Shippable, and what that does is every time it picks up a commit, it actually grabs the latest updates of the code. It runs some scripts, and it actually tests via PHP unit. It tests the code with a unit test that have been built out. So if I was to click on it, let's see what we can actually go into it and see what we've got. So you can see here, now the build failed. There are some failures in the unit test, but we have a nice little deal here where you can see what all it does to check out the source code. It actually builds out what is called containers and creates almost like a little image, a virtual image to run against. And so I've actually got three separate tests, one for PHP 5.4, one for PHP 5.5, and one for PHP 5.6. And that's represented by these up here, 26.1, 26.2, and 26.3. So three separate environments to run the unit test against. And we can see that there are two different and distinct failures here. One is there's just no test found in a test class. And then the other is evidently something was not found in a controller test. As it went through the HTML, and we have a total of 9 tests and 21 assertions, and like we said, there were 2 failures. This service is pretty nice. Typically, which I guess it's not showing it now, it will actually create test coverage, and you can get reports, nice little reports here. So yes, that's one little service that is tied into. Then also Code Climate. Code Climate is more or less an automatic peer review system, and it can help you kind of better write your code, take away duplication, add some clarity if maybe you're not naming variables in a way that is readable for other developers and maintainable for other people. For this particular file and class, we can see that it said, hey, this is some duplicate code found in other files, lines 5 through 7. Actually, 3 through 7, excuse me. And then it also says EM is too short a variable. It's not very readable. If I was just another dev, I might not know what EM is and what it represents. So that's a nice little service that I've tied it into. And so that was Code Climate. And those are the 2 little badges you see up here at the top. If you wanted to check this out, you could just do a git clone, which is pretty neat. This is a PHP project using the Symfony 2 framework, which is an MVC framework. And once it's checked out, it does have vendor dependencies. And to get those, you would just do this command. In theory, whatever machine you've checked out the source code on, it would have PHP already on the machine. So just by running this command, you'd be able to update the vendor directories. But there is a requirement on the machine that it have PHP installed and set up properly. Third step is, hey, let's go ahead and run the unit test ourselves. Right there within the directory. I guess one step I forgot to mention here is you do have to actually cd into the application directory, which should be DocuGen, if you follow these directions perfectly. There is also a publicly accessible site that I made. I just call it DocuGen.us. This actually is a domain name I purchased. If we open that guy up, we see here it's pretty much a bare bones site. I went ahead and left it in development mode. You can see the Symfony 2 debug bar still available to us down here. And this is a pretty nice thing for development purposes. Has some really nice detailed information and diagnostic information about the app. Now when we first hit the site, there's just a few pages that are more or less informational pages if this was to be a site for members and they wanted to come here and see what it's about before actually logging in or signing up. We have a benefits page, maybe an about page, a contact page. I ran out of time, so I didn't quite get to fill these in with filler. But the main thing is the member login page, and we have a login and a register screen here. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and enter the account here, admin. Let's log in. Upon login, have a little area here, a little widget that kind of tells you your account and user. Have a pay bill option, a home tab, a statements tab, compare, profile, benefits, legal activity, and disaster preparedness. Didn't quite have time to get to all these different areas. Now the entities that are powering these areas have already been built out, and they are in the database. And there are entity or model files within Symfony 2 that you can see. So they're already there. Of course, we can log out. And if we go back, so yeah, that kind of concludes what I've got. Can also maybe, let's see if we can't pull this back up. Hopefully. This will work. So I'm already in the project files. If I was to run PHP unit, see, yeah, we can see PHP unit run again. It's going to be more or less what you saw on one of the previous screens at shippable. But if you wanted to run it on a machine and see it again, this is what it would look like. So pretty neat. And that basically concludes what I have for this video. I hope you like it. Thank you.